Hello everyone, welcome to Shifting Gears. This is the Maruti Suzuki Victoris.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
Now in this video, we are going to speak about the exterior design of this Victoris, a 5-seater SUV here for the Indian market. This is positioned below the Grand Vitara and this is not sold in Nexa showrooms, this is sold in the Maruti Suzuki Arena showrooms. We will add another video, one where we speak about the interior cabin of this 5-seater SUV, how good is the space, what are the features on offer and just how well packaged it is. And we will also add another detailed drive review video so that you can make an informed car buying decision if at all you are planning to bring home this Maruti Suzuki Victoris. So now is a good time to subscribe to the Shifting Gears channel and press that bell icon. Now what is important to note, like I mentioned, is that this Maruti Suzuki Victoris, it is positioned below the Grand Vitara and sold in the Arena showrooms and not in the Nexa showrooms. But the overall side profile and the silhouette, it is of a proper mid-size SUV. So you know that this car, the Maruti Suzuki Victoris, it is going to rival the likes of the Hyundai Creta, Kia Seltos and the other such options which you have in the Indian market. But the core focus is going to be to attract buyers who are attracted towards the Hyundai Creta because that is the dominant product here in that segment in the Indian market. So is the Victoris going to be victorious? We will have to wait and watch. But overall, it looks like a promising product. And let's speak in detail about the exterior design of this brand new SUV, as they like to say. So first, let us speak about the light signatures of this Maruti Suzuki Victoris. At the front, you will notice that there is no connected LED DRL over here on this vehicle. You have this satin chrome finish over here around the Suzuki logo, a big chunky Suzuki logo. Here you will notice you have that studded LED DRL section and then you have a projector LED headlamp. You have a very nice blacked out effect for the headlamp, so because of that the contrast looks quite nice and it looks like a premium offering, especially when you look at the lights. Lower down, you will notice you have a projector LED fog lamp as well. And even this is positioned rather higher up. So I really like this positioning because it is probably going to be more effective and it is not going to gather a lot of dust and dirt very easily. Say for example, if it was positioned a bit lower over here on the bumper. So I think this could help, but of course, ownership reviews will speak about that in much more detail. Then over here you will notice that the same LED DRL, it also doubles up as a turn indicator, but this, it is not a sequential LED turn indicator, it is flashing all in one go. After that you will notice that you have the conventional LED turn signal on the wing mirrors, nothing fancy over here. And now when you move to the rear profile of the vehicle, you will notice you have this LED tail lamp which is connected but not in one shot. So you have this studded jewel-like design for the LED tail lamp and it looks quite nice. Because of this, the overall width of the vehicle is enhanced and it looks like a wide SUV, especially when you look at this tail lamp unit. Now, is this good looking or not? That is something that you will have to tell us in the comments below. Personally, I think the Victoris looks really good from the front end. The rear profile, not so much up to my taste, but then design is subjective. Some people might like the front, some might like the rear, some might like the overall product as a whole. So do let us know in the comments what you think about these light signatures of this Maruti Suzuki Victoris. Over here, you will notice you have an LED turn indicator, a very nice and sleek looking LED turn indicator, and then this entire tail lamp unit, this has a really nice smoked effect, so it looks rather good, rather appealing, and on other colors this dark contrast will pop out quite noticeably. One thing is that because this is a flat section over here on top of this tail lamp unit, there is going to be a lot of dust and dirt that can be accumulated over here, so you will have to keep wiping it off. It also gives that kind of a spoiler kind of an effect, so I'm sure that in the aftermarket you will get something to slap on over here, and then your Victoris could look rather sporty if you get that aftermarket spoiler. So if the aftermarket doesn't know that you can do that, here is an idea. Show us what you can. So now that you have seen the light signatures, let us speak about the other details, the other design details. Firstly, have a look at the bonnet. You have some crease lines, you have a nice power bulge, but it is a rather flat bonnet. It looks nice and it is not over styled at all. That is particularly the highlight over here, because Maruti Suzuki cars are sold in huge volumes, so they do not wish to overstyle a product so that it can appeal to a wider audience. And I think this safe bet is working in the Victoris's favor, because it looks like a rather premium offering, especially when you look at it from the front end. After that, I showed you that you have a satin chrome effect over here, no LED DRL which is connected, but you also have this gloss black applique to add some contrast. That is why it again looks nice. There is no air dam section over here around the Suzuki logo, so no ventilation, no large ventilation over here on this upper end of the bumper, but you do have some cutout kind of an effect, but this is blanked out on the left hand side, but it is functional on the right hand side of the logo. Below this Suzuki logo, then you will notice a camera, because you get 360-degree camera support, and you get ADAS as well, so you have this blanked out plastic applique over here as well. For ADAS, of course, you will notice that you have a camera over here on the front windscreen as well. And then if you have a look at the front bumper, it is neat, it is nice, and it is not overstyled. You have some aero curtains over here, and this is going to help in overall aerodynamic efficiency, how the air flows around the vehicle. A lot of plastic cladding on the bumper, but as you can notice, if you bang onto it, it does move around quite a bit. But the Maruti Suzuki Victoris has scored a top 5-star rating in Global NCAP and Bharat NCAP crash test rating, so no need to bash a Maruti Suzuki product. No need to bash this Victoris, because it has proved its point, and this could be a winning selling point for the Victoris. The strong credentials, the safety credentials of this 5-seater SUV. Lower down on the bumper again, you will notice you have that silver skid plate kind of an effect, a typical SUV look. You have a wide air dam section over here, and this actually is rather wide. I can actually go and touch the radiator from here. That is just something that you are not supposed to do, but I can tell you that you can do that. You have some parking sensors over here at the front as well. So this is going to help you park your vehicle safely and confidently, if at all this is your first big car in the family. Now moving to the side profile, firstly what you should notice is the dual tone paint scheme of this Maruti Suzuki Victoris. We have it in a shade of red. The black section lower down is going to be common, of course, because this is an SUV. But the top half, where you see this gloss black effect, this is the dual tone paint scheme of this Victoris. So you have gloss black on the upper half of this vehicle. Then again, when you have a look at the side profile, you will notice you have cuts and crease lines, but again, not over styled. You have this crease line over here, which starts from the headlamp unit, and then it wraps around on the front fender and a little bit on the door. On the doors you have crease lines at the lower end, and then towards the back you have this crease line which starts from the tail lamp unit, a little kink on the tail lamp unit, and then on the rear quarter panel, and then on this door handle onto the rear door. So rather nicely done, but subtly done. Lower down you will notice that the entire vehicle has plenty of black plastic cladding. This is the all grip variant. This is the off-road variant of this Maruti Suzuki Victoris. So Over here, it does proper justice because you can drive this car anywhere in the country, possibly comfortably without having to worry, because you have all four wheels which will be powered. Now this entire black plastic cladding also enhances the overall look of the vehicle, makes it look more off-road friendly and makes it look like a proper SUV, you might say. The ground clearance again looks generous by default, so you don't have to worry too much about it. We drove onto this patch with absolute ease and we got off the road, off the tarmac, and just came up here to this location without having to worry about the ground clearance. Nothing touched or scraped at all. Do check out some short format content pieces as well, which we have uploaded about the off-road credentials of this Maruti Suzuki Victoris, so you will understand how good is this vehicle to drive around anywhere in India. And anywhere in India or everywhere in India, you are most definitely going to find broken roads. Now look at those alloy wheels. Dual tone effect, machine finish as well. This is a 215/60 R17 tire, 17-inch alloy wheels. They are filling up the wheel well area quite nicely, and I am happy that these are not 18 inches because that would have been an overkill. That would have compromised your ride quality and comfort. These wheels, I think they look good, and the size overall is doing enough justice to the overall proportions of this vehicle. Again, when you come up close to this particular section, you will notice that here you have that aero curtain which starts from around the front fog lamp. So this is how the airflow is then going to be directed around the vehicle. You have some plastic cladding over here in the wheel well area as well. So this is possibly going to help in the NVH department, or rather squared off kind of a wheel arch design, and it looks decent. Then on the wing mirrors, like I showed you, you have that LED turn indicator over here. But what is important to note is this camera, because you get 360-degree camera support. A pillar, gloss black. B pillar, gloss black. C pillar, gloss black. D pillar, gloss black. Nothing is a matte finished blackout tape. Everything is finished in gloss. The roof as well, again, gloss finish. Up top, you have a shark fin antenna, again in gloss black. Then you have this roof rail, satin silver finish, matte finish. This is not gloss. And then up top, you will notice you have a dual tone panoramic sunroof, but it is not of the largest of size. But nevertheless, you are getting it in this particular segment at this particular price point, and the Indian car buyer loves the sunroof, even though it makes absolutely very little sense in our hot and humid weather condition. Then the door handle. Here, no chrome. You will notice you have a request sensor for true keyless entry. There is absolutely no chrome on the side profile of this Maruti Suzuki Victoris, and I actually prefer it. I prefer a de-chromed treatment. It looks more tasteful in my opinion, but I'm sure from the aftermarket you will find a lot of bling, and a lot of people like that kind of a bling. There is a disc brake at the front, of course, but then when you look at the rear wheel, you will notice that the Maruti Suzuki Victoris comes with all four disc brakes. Again, a squared off wheel arch over here at the back as well. And then have a look at this. There's plastic cladding on the door as well. So this is going to be very useful, especially if you're opening up the door in a tight parking spot. So the doors are not going to get hit very easily, but then it just depends on luck. Someone else can come and bang onto your car as well, but there's nothing you can do about it, because courtesy is something that we Indians lack, especially in parking lots. The side profile, I think it is decent. The overall silhouette might not be the sportiest. I think it looks a little bit like a station wagon too, but it is not a bad looking product. It is just that it is not something completely out of the box. It is not something that is going to just attract you a lot because of its design. This is a rather sensible approach to what a vehicle should be in terms of design, aesthetics, but the focus is on overall packaging. But for that, you have to check out our interior review video of this Maruti Suzuki Victoris. Now, let's move to the tail end of this vehicle. This is a 5-seater SUV only. You are not going to get any jump seats in the back. This is not going to be a 7-seater at all. This is never going to be a 6-seater at all, because there's just no space to do that. Now, over here, you have this wraparound kind of an effect, as a spoiler, so this will help in aerodynamic efficiency. You do have this spoiler over here which has an integrated high mount stop lamp. Then you have the very useful rear wash and wipe as well. And like I said, just have a look at this. Just have a look at how much dust is going to accumulate and settle over here over this tail lamp unit. This is in gloss black, so this is the real deal. This is something that you will have to keep cleaning every day. Then on the tailgate, you will notice you have the Victoris branding slapped very proudly on the center below the Suzuki logo. Then lower down over here, around the number plate garnish area, you have this camera. And again, no extra excess chrome on the tailgate. Very classy. There is absolutely no shiny chrome on this vehicle except for this badging, but looks quite nice. Now this is the smart hybrid variant because this has all grip. Smart hybrid is going to be standard in any variant that you buy, either the NA or this particular all grip variant. Otherwise you have the strong hybrid variant, which is a proper hybrid. This is just idle start stop technology, but they like to call it smart hybrid. Hybrid or not, you have that badge over there. Lower down you have the all grip branding very proudly slapped over here. Make note, this is all grip, not all grip pro. This doesn't have a low range gearbox. This is not a proper rock crawling SUV, but this is an SUV which can take you almost across any broken terrain here in the Indian market. So keep that in mind. This is not a hardcore off-road SUV. This is more of a go anywhere easily SUV. Then lower down on the rear bumper, you will notice again you have a healthy dose of black plastic cladding. The reverse lamps are lower down on the bumper. Plastic cladding over here as well in silver as your rear skid plate effect. Reverse parking sensors in, plastic finish. And then this is where the tailgate ends, and if you look further beneath, you will see that the tailpipe is visible, but it makes no aural pleasing sound, this Maruti Suzuki Victoris. Now speaking about the smaller and significant stuff, you will notice you have some kink over here on this wheel arch. This again is for aerodynamics and to prevent some amount of mud splash. The fuel filler cap is on the left hand side on the rear quarter panel, and then on the left hand side front door as well, you get a request sensor for true keyless entry. Now these glasses, they have been treated to prevent the hot sun on the inside, so they are going to keep the cabin cool. And you also have this quarter glass over here, which is going to allow some extra amount of light inside in the cabin and also in the boot, so you can find your luggage or something that you dropped inside very easily. Of course, you also have a boot lamp to find that particular item at night. So that is about it in terms of the exterior design of this Maruti Suzuki Victoris. Is it going to be victorious in terms of design? I don't think it is going to win any particular beauty pageant, but it is an inoffensive design, and in typical Maruti Suzuki fashion, it makes sense. It makes sense, and that is very important. This is going to be a sensible choice for someone who wants a no-nonsense product, for someone who wants their vehicle to be serviced anywhere in the country with absolute ease, for someone who wants a practical, fuel-efficient vehicle, and now also for someone who wants a Maruti Suzuki but wants a strong and safe Maruti Suzuki SUV. So that is the Maruti Suzuki Victoris for you. Do check out the other content pieces which we have uploaded so that you can make an informed car buying decision. Till next time, subscribe to the Shifting Gears channel, press that bell icon, always drive safe and always wear your seat belts.